years, and works at a laboratory that watches the sun and forecasts solar activity. Wonder what the weather is like here down there in Devon. We're on a dull day, and I think the temperature's probably around 20 Fahrenheit, something like that. Probably get up in the 40s today. G0BQY, this is Whiskey Zero Queen Mary.
Whiskey Zero Queen Mary. I wonder if that's intentional, or whether that was just stroke of luck on your behalf there, Richard. You're 5 and 7, by the way. You're peaking to 5 and 7 with me. You have to tell me what I don't know if you mentioned my report. I'm running in the ICOM 7800 here, running it barefoot, about 160 watts, I suppose, on the peaks. Have got an amplifier, but there's something wrong with it. It keeps showing 0 on output after about half an hour when it's been on. So not sure what the problem is there, but it looks like it's going to have to go back and be fixed. But typical, isn't it? I had to send my ICOM back to ICOM just before Christmas. Now the amplifier's gone pear-shaped as well. And the antenna here is the OptiBeam. 11 elements, 5 elements on 10 meters. And it's about 8 degrees Celsius today. Yeah, I think you mentioned Exmouth. Well, that's not very close to me here. Very, very close. In fact, there's a guy called Eddie who's often on the band, and he's when he's on 2 meters, he's good 5.9 plus with me on 2 meters. So that shows how close it is. It's right across the water, almost line of sight, almost there. Richard, go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, it's my father ran a pharmacy there, just up from the beach for quite a few years. But we made the mistake of moving to London in 1938, just before the start of the Second World War. You're also running around 5 and 7. I'm just running the IC 7100 barefoot. Supposed to be about 100 feet. That's what the LCD says here. And I've also got the compressor on. I wonder if you'd comment on the speech quality. G0BQY, this is Whiskey Zero Queen Mary, go.
Okay, yeah, Richard. Well, I'll tell you, I've been recording the last few minutes, the last 3 minutes, because I'm going to put this on YouTube so you can hear it. It's how can I put it? It's not RF. I don't know quite what it is. It's not quite clear. It's clear. I'm not having a problem understanding, but it's I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm not sure whether if you switch the compressor off, whether that will do it. Just at the end, on the edges, when you're talking, it's not rasping, but it's almost like wind. But I can't quite, that's why I put the video on, and then you'll be able to hear it for yourself, and maybe you'll be able to put your finger on what the problem is. But it could well be that you just need to make a few adjustments. Go ahead.
G0BQY, Zero Queen Mary. Right, I've turned the compressor on. Does that eliminate the problem, over?
No, it's still there. It's still there. Is that the only microphone you've got for the radio at the moment, over?
Yes, this is the one that came with it. And I noticed on QRZ that a number of people have commented that the more expensive microphone with the button on the back is actually higher quality. But I don't like microphones with buttons on the back. The one I had on my 2-meter mobile, I always end up accidentally pressing the buttons when grabbing the mic. So maybe I'll have to check into that. Does taking the compressor out reduce the readability, over?
No, it hasn't. It's just clipping on the edges. What sort of power supply are you running with it, over?
Running it on a power supply is not really designed for the job, but it's a very, very large switching power supply. It's capable of 50 amp output. I actually monitoring the voltage on it, and it's not kicking down on peaks at all. So I don't think that's the problem. The power supply actually comes from a company here that used to make disk drives, and they used to soak them in racks, and I don't know how many disk drives to supply, but I don't think that's the problem. So see whether I'm kicking the voltage down, but I rather doubt it. Probably just the rig. There was a very good Peter Hart review in Radcom of this rig, and he didn't comment on any speech quality problems. But maybe I haven't. I basically turned it on and not read the manual very carefully. Standard operating procedure. So there may be G0BQY from W0QM.
Yeah, W0 Quebec Mike, G0VQI. Yeah, well, it's a good job I'm recording it, because you'll be able to hear it exactly what I'm hearing, and then maybe you can get other people to compare it. I don't, it won't be me here, because everyone else, I'm not getting the problem, but it's, yeah, it's just on the ends. It's not every word you're saying, it's just on the ends. How close are you talking to the mic? I know you're supposed to talk quite close to them, but are you talking straight into the mic or across it or what? Over?
I'm talking straight into it, and it's rather close. Wait a second, I'll take it. That's got a display here of this car. This is still kicking up to nearly 100%, which is supposed to be 100 watts. So mic is now about 5 or 6 inches away. G0BQY, W0QM, yes?
Yeah, that's better. It's a bit quieter, that's the only problem, because I think these microphones, you're supposed to talk close to them, but I'm pretty sure that you almost eliminated all the clipping when you were talking like that. Go ahead.
Okay. After the government, somewhere or other in the menus is a way of adjusting the mic gain, and I haven't changed it. Try something. Yeah, I have to, I'm still learning my way around this touch screen, although I must say that it is fairly intuitive and not very hard to use, as I rather feared. I hadn't been a great fan of touch screens in the past. This one does responsive and does what you intended to do. Most of the operations, there are a set of dedicated buttons which mostly switch dedicated functions on and off, like noise blanking, and noise reduction, and the notch filter, etc. And you can change what you're showing on the S meter or on the meter display when you're transmitting. I'll have to play around with it. Yeah, provided the 10 meters is open, I don't do very much operating. My normal rig is an FT990 Yaesu, and I had a close lightning strike a few months ago. I thought the rig had survived because it wasn't antenna, but then I discovered that although the receiver works, the transmitter doesn't. So that at the moment has gone in for repair, and this little tiny IC700 is sitting in the place of it. The thing I was really struck with when I got this, although of course the dimensions are in all the advertisements, is really how small it is. I thought it would be a problem fitting the main unit under the seat of the SUV, but it really isn't. It's not much bigger than a traditional 2-meter transceiver. 0BQY from Whiskey Zero Queen Mary, go.
Yeah, W0QM, G0VQI, that was a much better one. The modulation was okay then, assuming that you were speaking a bit further away from it. But yeah, I recently bought a new radio as a spare, and I was looking at some of the icons. Considering that I've been using, it's getting windy out there. I'm going to check my antenna in a minute. Just going to make sure that, I'm not sure how strong the wind's supposed to be this evening. But I actually bought a Kenwood TS9 590 and I was very happy with it, indeed. It's a really nice radio. And I bought the MC90 bass microphone with it as well. And I was very pleasantly surprised with the operation. And I also like the fact that Kenwood provide you free from their website online on-screen operating software that basically duplicates all of the all of the buttons, all of the functions onto your computer, so you can just use the mouse to do it. It's really, really good. So if like me, you are disabled and have problems with your fingers moving them, then they've taken all those problems away by providing the software that enables you to do everything from the computer. Don't even have to touch the radio. Go ahead.
Oh, that's great. 0BQY, Whiskey 0 Queen Mary. You're 59, by the way, just the end of that transmission. I've never had a Kenwood radio. The previous radios I've had were both being Yaesu. I was attracted to the 990. As an electronic engineer, I like the idea of the plug-in card and not having everything on the motherboard. However, when I came to try and service it, since I don't have an extender board, that turned out to be a disadvantage. But a very nicely built radio. Sorry that you don't have full control of everything now. And that's great that you can do it. It's actually better to do it with a mouse.